All right, welcome back. I love that song. I love that song. Welcome back. Game number 2 coming at you. Alliance versus Cloud9. We got Alliance up 1-0 here in this best-of-3 series. Sum of 7 European qualifying action here. This is the group stages, Group B specifically. The winner of this moving on to play Vega Squadron. The loser will play Na'Vi. Again, only 2 of the 4 teams make it onto the playoff stage, and then one of those will then win it all to claim their spot in the $100,000 LAN. Set to happen at the BTS house. Always a fun tournament indeed. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Z-Rock once again. Well, we're going to see if Cloud9 make those adjustments here. And so far, it's a little bit of a different draft. The Silencer and Earth Spirit first picks coming out.
Yeah, so at least they pulled one premium pick here with Earth Spirit. That's worth the pickup. I like to see it. They played it very well. The curious thing here, Warlock and LC both slipped the ban phase. I imagine we're going to see LC picked up here from Alliance. Yeah, that's arguably the most contested, openly seen as the best hero in this patch.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's why do we think it's just obviously, you know, a skill set. I guess it's across the board, just overall really good. Having that purge effect is always going to be nice as well. Like, what makes them so good?
It's a little more cerebral than that. You've got the fact that a scaling off lane right now is very good because some safe lanes are getting just crushingly shut down. So to have a backup plan for that is very important. We're also in a meta where no one wants to do a true tri-lane where you have a support stacking and pulling and one of them zoning. So if you're lightening up the load on your safe lane, then the LC can start to pressure. Like we saw yesterday, or 2 days ago, that Legion Commander versus Lifestealer matchup where they just beat on each other. There wasn't a support in sight for like 4 minutes. So it just comes down to the fact that it's a good way to try to make sure that the enemy team keeps their supports in lane, and then you can still fall back to jungle and be useful. And if they roam them out, you can apply a ton of pressure to the solo safe laner.
Well, Alliance happen to have him mentioned with that Warlock as well. A very, very high up there on the tier list support hero, and for good reason. So Alliance draft strong so far. Now Silencer, you know, again, decent in terms of responding, at least, kind of counter initiation. So we'll see if it ends up being that mid Silencer or even a support. Definitely one or the other here.
Yeah, we've seen him run at mid a few times, so I wouldn't be surprised. But keeping the option open is a good thing. They'll probably look to pick whatever their other supporter mid laner is last, or later in the draft. I want to see them grab an off laner here before too many of them are pulled out of the pool.
Is Magnus is still on the board, actually. We mentioned that last game even.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you could always go with the staple, right? Go Mag Jug.
Yeah. Well,
5 seconds
wouldn't be a bad option, but it's Cloud9. I don't think they're going to do that normal stuff here.
Reserve time.
That's right.
Still have Omni Knight in the pool. That's always been a staple for them. There's an Abaddon. That works.
Yeah, that's definitely, obviously, pretty popular.
They could do both. They could bust out the mid lane Baby Knight, Omni Knight, Hesta Joe Abaddon.
Yeah, they could. They definitely could. You throw a Dazzle on top of that to finish it off. They're just healing machines, man.
Those would be like the most tilting team fights in the world to take because C9 could never kill you, really. They're just going to sustain through you. The fights would take a good hour.
But that sounds like fun, Dota.
Oh, I know, right? So if you're Alliance here, you got to start to make some calls because, as you said, the Mag is still on the board. We've seen some safe lane LCs. We've seen 1 or 2 mid LCs. You could always mid the Magnus.
That's what I was thinking.
You pick it up. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a consideration here. Wow. They're going for a themed draft. They're all red.
Ah, of course.
That's why. That's the premium reason the Lions picked up here.
That makes a lot of sense then. Okay, I was a little uncertain, but until you said that. No. Yeah. Han's going to, you know, I actually don't have his stats up right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lion's actually one of his most picked up heroes, honestly, because it feels like a hero that he tends to play a fair amount for some reason. So, but you know, with that said, you know, why a Lion here? If anything, I guess if you're fearing an illusion lineup, it could be decent against. But
I don't really like it just because now you don't have a roamer. Lion can do that, sure. But it's way on a different level than an Earth Spirit or a Ricky or a Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Or even a Spirit Breaker. Like, it's nothing close to one of those. And so that's committing you to a lot more standard type lanes. They may run that dual offlane Warlock LC that we saw a couple days ago, but it just seems a little strange. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I would guess they're going to run dual lanes. It's going to be
Radiant
Lion
team
Jug safe lane, Warlock LC off lane. They're looking for a mid laner now.
The Magnus still screams possibility to me.
Yeah,
We'll
they have
see.
53 games
10
online,
seconds
56% win rate.
There you go. Played a little bit
5
more perhaps than
seconds
others.
remaining.
Good, just roam potential definitely. And the Finger of Death, nice burst damage to be had.
Reserve time.
But yeah, the Lycan again for Cloud9 on the other side. So, but it goes back now. This time they do have Abaddon, who's like we even brought that up potentially. He's definitely going to benefit a little bit more from that Howl, which is nice to see already. And we'll see who their mid option ends up being for them too. If it's not going to be the Silencer, but even if it is Silencer, the same concept. That Howl's going to benefit him. So definitely liking this synergy at least with the draft a little more now.
A little bit. The struggle I'm still seeing though is an extreme lack of CC. They're still going for the we're going to take the initiative and pressure you kind of gameplay style. And there's not one pick that's going to fix this for them because they're either going to be getting another support or a mid laner. I would say the most likely mid laner is going to be a Baby Knight Sniper. I think that is hands down the best pick left here for them. Shadow Fiend, maybe a distant second, would be the other option I could see. But yeah, if you got the Sniper throwing shrapnels down, the zoning tools become a lot more effective. You can really start applying the zone that if they start walking into it, they're getting Abaddon shields popped at them, and they're getting shrapnel and arcane curse. And then it can be hard for the Alliance side to fight in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they banned the mag too. They're just like, we're not dealing with this.
Yeah. The potential definitely was there, so that's obviously a smart ban on their part. And yeah, Alliance, they do love that they love to do that a lot, even more so than the other teams. I feel like running with the Juggernaut, and he's all about buffing up Loda there.
Well, and they still can. Invoker, still in the pool. We know Limp plays it, but you could have that huge alacrity both on the LC while she duels someone and Juggernaut when she's not. And I think it would be an insanely good pick here. I've sang the praises of Invoker with a core offlaner so many times. And this is literally like the perfect game for it.
Well, the final ban for Alliance now, and talk about possibilities here. Sniper had come to mind. You mentioned Shadow Fiend could potentially be on the list here.
Anything that zones, I think, is what they're looking for. So Shadow Fiend can do it between Raises and Blink Requiems. Sniper, the other one would be like a Puck that would just give them some nice zone control and keeping people in place so Lycan can beat on them. Very, very important. If they get ahead, Puck would allow them to push a lead tremendously.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're going to take plenty of time to decide here as they've had all that reserve time built up here. So I'm sure talking it over as a team, figuring out their options here. They're the ones that are up 1-0, so would like to finish the job. And, with the way the couple of series have gone so far, being 2-0, would keep to the theme even.
I'd like to say, while I'm on the stats page of Alliance, they've played one competitive match of Huskar 3 years ago, but they are 1-0 on it. Undefeated Huskar team.
Let's go Huskar.
It's just obviously best pick, 100% win rate.
Was he even picked up in Kiev? I think he was one of the few that wasn't, right?
Nope. I think he was one of, 6 that didn't get picked?
Yeah.
Ahaz, where you at?
10 seconds remaining.
Yep. Yeah, no, he had a little bit of a phase there with the Oracle especially. That's another hero, speaking of a one. It's that combo, really. Just nothing.
Yeah.
Reserve time.
Oracle's little shotgun damage got nerfed, so she wasn't able to, solo people as a support at level 5. And then all of a sudden just fell off entirely. And Mech getting kind of pushed out of the meta really hurt Oracle a lot. Was very, very good, coupled with False Promise and keeping someone alive through a filthy amount of damage.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they're going to go down the wire right here.
Oh, boy.
It's all their time.
I mean, really, just get the Invoker. Just get it. They may be thinking Puck. Yeah, okay.
Radiant
The Limp Puck. So Sniper is still on the board.
If I had to guess how their comms went on that one, it was Hanskin saying, "Yo, hey, Limp, you're gonna play Puck." And he said, "No, Puck doesn't work." He's like, "No, you're gonna play Puck though." He said, "No, but the buttons don't work on Puck." If you've been following Limp's Twitter, every time a competitive Puck game comes out that he plays, he's like, "Valve, please fix. Button presses don't work." Well, he tries to hit the buttons so fast, and if you try to phase shift basically if you press 3 Puck skills at once, one of them usually won't go off. And you'll think it did, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
So Okay, so we get the, I'm assuming the Baby Knight Ember here. Huh. It kind of gives the idea I was talking about. It does set up a little bit of a zone where if you walk into the range of Slight Chains, it gives them a way to go on you. That would set up Noya to hit a Boulder Smash. But I'm less of a fan of it than I am like a sniper, I think, here. Again, I'm giving Alliance the edge if I'm making predictions.
Yeah, no, it's the lockdown is lacking once again. I think that's going to be the absolute key here for Cloud9 because even Searing Chains, it's a nice route to maybe keep them nearby for Lycan and be able to hit, but they only have the one hard stun on Earth Spirit, so and as he's pointed out, I mean, it's not the easiest without setup especially. So it's not going to be an easy game for Cloud9 to definitely have a good chance in this one, and I'm with you with leaning towards the Alliance draft. Definitely seems like much more of a comfort draft for them and one that just across the board. It has nice synergy. So
Lotus should literally be at a point in this game that if Lycan isn't there, he can spin TP out of anything they have. They have so little right-click, like hardcore burst damage. There's no TA. There's no Ursa. He should just be able to spin TP out of any bad situation he puts himself in. Okay, so I was testing this out. The tower level team showdown thing works in CM in ranked. So I'm not sure why it doesn't work in the little visual indicator there.
So it has something to do with
Must be a spectator bug. Well, the towers change still. Like we see different tower designs. So yeah, it must just be a spectator bug.
That's true actually then. Yeah, maybe it's more that line. Yeah, it's one of those, we've been talking about that a couple casters here. It's just I assume that's something that they will either just remove from, because frankly, as spectators, we don't need to see that. I mean, that's not one of those competitively viable stats to see. So,
but it's like the skin war. Whoever has better cosmetics wins the game.
Yeah, that's definitely not been proven ever.
I just said the word skin. Chat's gonna be like league trash. Blah blah.
Oh boy.
Hey, I play CS:GO. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. But yeah, so we're using the blue Jug Arcana here. I mean, we're going into skins, man. This is the meat and potatoes of Dota now.
Yeah. It's looking closely here. Got Loda on that Juggernaut.
There's no Lion Immortal on Simon, on Hanskin. It's unfortunate.
Who are you hoping for the Immortal? Or not the Immortal, the Arcana.
The Arcana?
The voting here. For Wisp?
I mean, everyone, the meme is to vote Wisp, right? I think I would like to see a better done Zeus one. I don't think it's going to happen because we already have one for Zeus, but Puck could be really cool. Like really flashy spell effects that they could do a lot of things with. Just, it could be nice. That'd probably be my second choice.
Yeah, Puck's a visually pleasing hero. That's I'm with you there as a spectator, especially. Getting one that's visually pleasing that would make sense to enhance quite a bit.
Well, and I don't like what they did with the Jug one, right? Where they had to make it gaudy to make it seem like an Arcana.
Yeah.
The blue spin is just gross, and when he crits and the dragon flies out, like it's just added visual noise. Dota already has a ton of visual noise, where especially for new players, it's very hard to see what's going on as they're learning the game, and I think cosmetics that just add more noise to the game don't help anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see that argument, but I guess it goes back to the whole, actually I was turning into Moondeck yesterday. They were having a podcast and kind of were talking about the idea of the skins and how I guess Valve has stayed away from having the cosmetics change too much on heroes, obviously, because they want to keep the base model the same for the most part, so a spectator or a new player can understand what hero that is by looking at it right away. But, there's only so much customization that they can do, right, before they kind of have to change it, so...
Well, you weren't around in the days before that policy was implemented. It was implemented because of... I can't remember what the actual name of the set was, but everyone just called it Wild West Ursa. Basically, Ursa got cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. And if you have that set, it goes for like $2,000, maybe a little more now. But that was the policy where they said, okay, so now the new standards are it's got to be the same color template, and it has to basically at a glance be the same hero. It's got to be identifiable. So we'll have to see how much you can do. I mean, Of course, then Reddit instantly goes, well, this Omni set doesn't match because it made him blue. So they just recolored it to be red like 2 patches later.
Good old Reddit effect. Lion, he's going to be seen by Earth Spirit right here, but nothing really happens. Lion choosing to get the boots first, actually. Oh, he's going to have that mobility, man. Flying around the map. Guess perhaps that's the intention of because they're planning to play aggressive. I mean, Warlock's even lining up down here at the bottom lane too. So yeah, they're looking to go tri-lane. It looks like.
Yeah, and it's just a way to try to compensate for the fact that Lion's not as good of a roamer. If you throw boots on him right away, that helps to mitigate some of that.
My blade.
Yeah, they look like they want to fight this rune out.
They do have a decent level 1 team, so.
It's going to be a click war top, though, between Loda and Hestajo.
The battle begins.
There we go. Aphotic shields up. Loda, who played Diablo 2 more. Apparently Loda did. And they get 3 runes in the end, so well played there. By Alliance, Baby Knight, the one to pick it up for Cloud9. And it is going to be an aggressive dual lane. Lion is actually, once again over here, going to harass Earth Spirit a little bit. Before taking some kind of harassment. And now that Orb of Venom, that's a battle that Noya's going to win for sure, so. Gotta be careful with your hand skin. Yeah, Earth Spike level 1 is a pretty weak ability.
Yeah, and to be honest, taking Spike at level 1 is not even what you want. You want Hex. It's instant, it lasts longer. But kind of forced
damage
into it there. Yeah, even though you get an extra auto off after Hex.
Oh, he's going to use the Earth Spike up at the top lane. Aphotic Shield coming out, but Joe, he's a little bit of a worrisome spot, but the salve's popped and he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that's probably the talent change that needs to be changed most is the Abaddon level 25. 300 Aphotic Shield's too much.
That's a lot.
The casters are saying it in Kiev. I strongly agree. It's filthy.
We saw it yesterday coming to play. It was the finals, I think. Yeah, Singularity versus Pro Dota there. And yeah, we saw the level 25 Abaddon, and I mentioned that. It's the fact that it starts at 200, right? At level 4, yeah. And then so it goes up by more than 100%. Whenever we see the ability enhancements like that, I feel like it's never doubled plus. Like, that's the only one that comes to mind where it's more than doubling the effectiveness of it. Hanskin, he is in a lot of trouble. Aphotic Shield is ready to go. He's going to die for this. Oh, blocking him a little bit, but now it blocks and it's to Rotten as Hanskin makes his way out. Loda is taking some good damage too, but at least
okay,
Hanskin
so that was
lives.
really cool. The creep was blocking Hanskin from going up, but because of that, it was also blocking Hesta Joe from clicking through the trees. He didn't actually have vision of the lion because he was in a weird little fog patch, but couldn't move any further forward.
Bottom lane, by
Ace
the way.
though, bot lane.
Yeah,
might
Ace.
fall.
Fatal Bonds are up.
He can't find him.
He's trying to find him. He hunts him down, and he gets the first blood as a result. Now Rise actually has to be careful about this. Overwhelming odds is... Oh, he does have a mango, though. He does have a mango, so worst case he uses that, but he doesn't even need it. Oh, boy. Is he going to tank enough?
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, Shadow Word will help. He's good. All right.
That's trying to break muscle memory there. Like, every pro player still to this day is like, I'm under tower, I can't salve. This is dumb, it's not going to work. But, you know, it took an extra second or two for him to quite realize, yeah, just blow the salve. This is good. But made it out safely. I mean, the LC is so far ahead now. He's going to have phase boots to start this off. This means the supports really can't leave bottom. Silencer is not very good at protecting Malikan.
Yeah. And that's also hurts because obviously you ideally want the Earth Spirit. If anything, I'd figure he's wanted to maybe babysit the middle lane, but he hasn't even really been. He's been more at the top lane trying to make some plays, which have obviously come up short so far. Hanskin's been doing overall a good job of staying alive for the time being, at least. But yeah, Earth Spirit continues to come up here, so Noya, unless they get a kill out of this, they are using a lot of time, and this Lycan gonna fall further and further behind. In fact, Rise, yeah, he can't really trade auto attacks either because of that Shadow Word. And now he's in trouble, actually. Yeah, it's an overwhelming odds. That's a kill. Jonas a fan. I love this mana, man. He knows his limits and knows that Ace has nothing as far as crowd control.
Yeah, and EGM's pretty close to out of mana, so Johannesson fans find to take those trades, knowing he's going to get a Shadow Word and then EGM's going back. So no problem at all for him to apply some extra pressure here. And this is looking very, very bleak at the start for C9.
LC.
Oh, so to finish what I was saying here real quick about Aphotic Shield, though. The biggest thing I have with it is if you aphotic shield someone, it absorbs 500 damage, which is an insane amount of mitigation as it is. But if you pre-shield someone and then just shield again at the start of a fight, it blows up for the full 500 damage.
Yeah.
So you're able to essentially do like a level 1 epicenter worth of damage every 6 seconds. It's just a disgusting amount of damage.
And the fact he could purge off several abilities, and it's just, you're basically giving a target plus 500 life in a sense too. So, yeah, no, it's strong, and I'm with you there. It seems like that level 25 talent. In a lot of cases, again, the people like to suggest that level 25 talents, and I'm on board with that. You can't think about it too much, but Abaddon is a hero that in a lot of games he will get level 25. So.
Yeah, especially in this meta. We're seeing so many games go 40, 50, 60 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I hit 25 yesterday at 31 minutes into the game, and like we weren't even winning.
Yeah. Well, he has it, and we'll see if it comes into play this time around. He's early laning phase. He is not afraid to play aggressive here. As Earth Spirit tried to roll on in, try to connect on a Hanske. It might not even matter, though, that he missed. As, yeah, that will finally be a kill onto him. So they've been trying forever, and almost felt like it was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of inevitable, but they sacrifice so much in their offlane. The LC is ahead of the Lycan in last hits.
Loda, there's a healing work going down, actually. Another roll on in. He's going to be forced to spin, actually. So that's exactly what C9 wanted. They could use that ability and thus the mana.
Okay, so if you're going to give all the space to Hestajo, if you're putting this much of your resources in the offlane, what's he going to do with it? Is he going to go for the Vlad's Rush? Is he going to go straight Radiance? Is it going to be a Midas? He's got to make that call now. He needs to know what he wants to do with the space.
I'm trying to think, and actually, I'm also noticing Lycan, he's skipping Wolves this game. So, again, a little bit of a reaction, perhaps, and whether it's just how the first game went or just the matchup here, but likes the idea of the Howl now more effectively, and it's good to see that. So Abaddon himself is going to benefit from him as well as everyone else on the team. But, yeah, no, I don't know. I'm trying to think myself as far as what more comfortable with Abaddon going. I don't know if they can risk him going for the, early Radiance here. It seems like they can start falling behind pretty quickly. They're not careful. So, Rise, he's
They really
dead.
could.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And now
The
Ace.
rotation from Abaddon here is late, but it will probably save Ace.
Well, trying to deter them, if anything. Maybe get a turn kill. Borrow time isn't up, actually. That's what Ron's going to be dropping right here. The Duke can kill Juggernaut. But obviously, it comes at a quick cost. And now Ace trying to make his way out himself. Illusory Orb. It's going to miss right there. Ace just keeping the tower close by. But Dream Call going to keep him even closer. And he will eventually get killed off. Nice phase shift as Noya rolls in. And Lip looking to make his escape now. Jonas fan. Great dodge on the boulder smash there.
Radiant's top
Okay.
tower is under
I already am a... How do you even pronounce it? Is it Jonasum fan?
I say Jonas. I've always said Jonas fan. Way back when, so.
I think I add like 3 syllables. I'm like Johannesum fan, and I don't even know. I do really appreciate him here, though, with the armlet and the quick buy. We see a lot of LCs when they get a lead, they're like, just get my blink, just get my blink. And then they get stuck at blink. It takes a while to get to blade mail or armlet or whatever their next item is. Go this armlet first and just be this driving force.
Yeah.
Louis caught here.
That's what we like to call Caster's Curse, Z-Rock. This is your hyping him up, saying how good he's doing, and like his ideas. Well, he was out of position.
Was. Yeah, now, I mean, nice little silver lining. He bought the Helm of Iron Will, so he had 0 gold when he died.
Yeah.
Which is good. Hanskin, though, trying to make a move in on mid. Baby Knight able just to ult out of that.
No, but I think that's a good point that you're making, though, on the idea of getting that armlet first. Yeah, exactly. The blink is good, sure, and I'm sure he'll follow up with the blink, but this is going to really allow him to be more combat ready as this game picks up earlier on, not rely just simply as a initiation duel early on in the game.
Yeah, because we're seeing how much pressure Load has been put under. He really is far behind, and he's not necessarily going to be this quick pop-off core. And so you need the damage here from LC more than you need the initiation.
Yeah. Top lane, Loda. I don't know if he's necessarily he's looking to get a turn kill right here, borrow time, but they're not going to put any damage into it. Jonas Fan, there's that duel.
Oh, no.
Slash bounce to the creep wave, but it didn't matter. More than enough damage. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they will get a turn kill on an EGM playing that Warlock, but obviously the favor for Alliance.
It's a DD Ember Spirit with Howl, with a 2-point early Howl. So
Radiant's top
definitely a strong damage right there, and this should result in a trade in towers. Dire is way ahead in the tempo here, or Radiant's way ahead in tempo here, though, with this DD on Ember. They could potentially take this and look to rotate top.
is under attack.
Jonas, he's like, all right, we'll fight. Burrow time, not ready to go, and Hesta Rotten has to be careful because of that. Rise throws out that Arcane Curse, nice hitting 3. And we'll scare them off in the end, but good pressure being put on by Alliance. Meanwhile, bottom tower does go down, those mentioned, and they would like a kill out of this. Searing Chains ready to go. Nope, he actually pops a Flame Guard instead. There's the Searing Chains now. And should secure it, but now they are pretty deep and committed. Limp, good assist for the kill on Ember Spirit, and Ace also in trouble. He loses Orb. That caught him off guard big time. And a double
really
kill
did.
for Limp.
And Limp hurts right now. This double null tile has been int tread. Puck has a fairly clean attack animation. And when you couple it with a little bit of right click early on, it does a lot more damage than people give it credit for.
That was big turn right there for Alliance, and obviously it gets Cloud9 just simply for the Warlock kill. Getting that tunnel vision and bites them in the ass there. Warlock top lane. This one may bite them in the ass too as they get the kill, but again, I guess EGM's doing his job instead of baiting right here. Although Houndskin is also going to be falling.
He still has 30 seconds. This is a little rough.
Yeah, now Loda has to be careful. Borrow time is still up on Hesta Rotten, so he can't really set up a big turn right here. Instead, he'll just hill up, so actually ends up working out pretty well for Cloud9 this time around. Diving beyond. And early earn, by the way, picked up by Noya. So Earth Spirit has been pretty involved.
Yeah, definitely. But still, I know I keep going back to this kind of thing. Your LC has 20 dual damage at 10 minutes. I've seen LCs that aren't 6 by 10 minutes. So he's in an insanely good spot in this game. The armlet's almost online. So while Noya is doing well and your Abaddon just got a huge influx of gold, basically at a Midas now, there are some good things going for them here. But you're going to have to find answers to these things. Once Limp gets his Blink online and the armlet comes up on LC, Alliance should be ready to fight from here till game end again.
There's that armlet for LC. Speaking of it, and oh, he may run right into Ace Duel. Oof.
He's not sure who else is there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people off map right now. You don't see Rise, you don't see Hesta Joe, you don't see, I mean, anyone really. I think the only person they had vision of was Noya.
That would have been risky because yeah, Baby Knight was coming over to be fair. So Jonas fan thinks better of it and just says hello. He goes into the lane to farm. So the greed is going to be real on... Oh, that's a global science, by the way. They're going for the kill on a puck in the middle lane. Will it be enough damage? If not, that's a big use. It will be enough damage. Boulder Smash also hits Hanskin right there on Lion and puts down that Magnetize meanwhile. Hanskin, though, keeping his distance. Should be able to survive through it. Going to be the same for Legion Commander. Magnetize is still doing the work.
Toggle. Magnetize...
Yeah.
Oh,
This coil to finish the job. Even level 1 does more than enough damage right there. And they also pick up Hanskin. That Magnetize, man. Noya, he is doing a hell of a job. 3-0-4 here on Earth Spirit now.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need. They don't have Chaotic Offering yet up on Warlock. They don't even have Finger of Death up yet on the Lion. The supports are so underleveled. And that came back to bite them hard as Noya just went off in that fight.
Magnetize doing so much right there. Important, though, from Loda. He does have an Omni Slash. He needs a wand charge to sell.
Got coil if they wanted to commit to that.
Yeah, Omni Slash, he was out of mana for it, so couldn't really go in. And they decided to back off from one another. So Baby Knight will bottle up this Haste Rune. And by the way, the build of Ember Spirit, he is going to be going straight into the bots here. So no fail this game.
Yep. Yep. Just very, I mean, maybe you would have reconsidered knowing Noya was going to get a triple kill there and is now, like, exceedingly far ahead, but... I want to know what Noya does with this. He's got enough for a Midas if he wants it, or basically 4 staff for a Blink. Those are kind of the 3 choices he's going to have. And they've already got a Midas up on Abaddon here on Hesta Joe. Yeah, that's going to be the question. Okay, it is going to be a Midas.
Yeah. So that's, you know, it's greedy like I said, but at the same time, he does have the Solar Crest now queued up. So that for me is good to see. If it was going to be a Radiance queued up next, that's where like it seems like it would be a little scary, but I don't know. With the way this game's going now, the fact that they have the Heroic Elite even, and obviously they got a net worth lead, maybe he could even risk going the Radiance and be just fine. But Solar Crest itself is obviously so powerful too, so at very least getting that first.
I think you had to go one of 2 ways. Either you say Hesta Joe's going to get the Radiance, he throws it in the quick buy and commits to it, and then you go a quick Solar Crest on the Earth Spirit that just got all this gold. But instead, decides not to get the Midas, ends up picking up a Blink, manages to grab EGM with the Blink, so already getting payoff here.
Yeah, they did a good job of stopping that TP with a Boulder Smash, and despite support kind of being nearby, they did not want to risk overcommitting right there just to save the Warlock. And this Warlock you mentioned earlier, I mean, he continues to struggle, man. He doesn't even have Chaotic Offering yet, let alone
Where did their
any
tome
farm.
go? I haven't figured this out. I didn't see it get used. And if they haven't bought it, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
I feel like they had to have done it. Maybe Warlock used it to get almost 6 from level 5.
That's possible.
Yeah. I don't know. They need Chaotic Offering, though. We're seeing how rough these fights are without it.
Yeah, 14.5 minutes in. You'd really hope to have that by now. So he is just about there. Just needs really 1 or 2 more creeps, and he'll be there at least. But that's been key for C9 in terms of winning some of these engagements, no doubt. And this is going to be nice, too. Double damage rune. And it's like, hey, let's do Roshan now. So nice transition here. Alliance, they have no clue.
Yep, if they'd scouted this out, the fight could be really devastating. But they're going to do a ton of damage with this fresh solar medallion picked up and the DD on Ace. So easy Roshan.
And who
this
are we
is
giving
keeping
this
the
to?
tempo.
Ace,
It's probably going to go on Ace. Oh, yeah.
Bottom lane, they want to defend this. Show us a fan. His tower was solo. The Ember Spirit goes in with the explosions. Can Legion Commander live? Absolutely not. And they're just going to deny it on top of that. So LC goes down. The smoking coming in from Alliance, however.
Yeah, this could still be huge. A coil into a rock with bonds is going to kill somebody.
Oh, that's
Opting for
somebody.
Ember instead.
Ember Spirit, they will have a free kill on him. Maybe an Omni Slash
He's out
with
of
a little
remnants.
silence. And he's going to live. No, Hoskin
Good
comes
hold on the
through.
rock. Good hold on. The Warlock wanted to make sure that the Ember wasn't getting out there. Would have gladly committed the rock, but... Whew.
Hoskin had it.
Yep.
Finger
And
up
a lot of gold going Alliance's way for that one pickoff, but it is all on the line of the Warlock. It's not quite the primary focuses of getting gold in this game. But now you still have buttons up. You got coil still, you have rock still. You smoke right away again. I love this move out of Alliance.
Yeah, keep the activity going. You know, there's some items still to be had here for this earlier game for Lycan, or more so for the Radiant side as a whole. But
Baby Knight's gonna get caught again.
oh no, he thinks he's gonna be fine here, but you're right. Yeah, the smoke, it's gonna catch him in the flank.
The problem is they've got to make it so that he's silenced the entire duration until the duel goes off, and this is going to be the problem. Okay, they are able to get it off.
They needed to do that, and they execute.
And a better person to get the kill on. Jonas and Fan picking that one up there. It's going to go a long ways towards getting him his Blink Dagger. And in reality, they've kind of picked apart what happened after this Aegis got taken. The Aegis is still up, but now it's so hard to take these fights. Estadero doesn't care, though. He's going in. He wants EGM.
Fight me, bro. EGM. He will end up falling. Lycan charging in with that shapeshift. They're going to get a big boulder smash onto the sides on top of that. And also now Puck in trouble. He will fall. Beautiful response from C9. Remember, too, that was a Howl buff on top of that, too. Wow. Even daytime, doing plenty of assisted damage.
Caster's Curse is so real there. So many good things happening, and then Hestajo, knowing the limits of his hero so well, just knows I can run into this and I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
And really just kind of the vanguard for the team right now on C9.
Yeah, Legion Commander definitely has died off a bit. He mentioned he liked the idea of the armlet, and it's definitely still a great item, but oh my god, as soon as I say this, he's going to get caught again. That's an initiation from the Boulder Smash Anoya there. But again, the follow-up this time around, not necessarily there, although Hestajo not afraid to go in, and he will secure the kill on a Warlock, and down goes LC. Like I said, the Howl buff comes up, and a lot of assisted damage for the team as a whole. AC being
this is starting to be super reminiscent of the series we cast a couple days ago where Alliance looked really, really rough.
Oh, yeah.
They're taking fights without cooldowns. They're taking fights as 3 versus 5. It's just not clean Dota.
And they're kind of split up right here. In fact, Limp, he's somehow going to have to make his way out of this, but that's not going to happen. That's just going to continue that. I exactly agree with you. This is Alliance almost falling apart at the seams here in this game all of a sudden.
Yeah, they just don't need to be taking these. When you don't have cooldowns up, you don't have 5 heroes, why? Okay, mid you got caught, that was fine. You maybe only should have lost 1, maybe 2, but everything after this has just been poor positioning and a lack of vision.
Cloud9 has definitely turned it on, though, and now you have Lycan, the armlet finish, the BKB has been queued up, and that's kind of the holy trinity of items even. It's that BKB, that Lycan's going to be running around in shapeshift, doing plenty of damage throughout fight. So look at this Blink Dagger, by the way, on Earth Spirit. He's been a hell of a hero this game.
I mean, that's been huge. I really appreciate him not going a Midas. aside from my own personal hatred of that item, he's made so much use out of the blink. He literally picked it up 8 seconds later. He gets a kill on Warlock, and it's been so key in repositioned. We've really seen it against Limp. Some really clutch silences to stop Limp from going to an orb.
Yeah. So the lack of lockdown overall on the team has definitely not been that big of an issue because of Earth Spirit able to land several Boulder Smash. You mentioned the silence, and again, Silencer himself also assisting. Jonas Fan, this is going to be another one. Boulder Smash to jump. There we go. The silence to start things off. Doesn't even need the Boulder Smash. He's going to have to land it. He's trying to move around, but he cannot get out of there.
Buy your blink.
He did not buy his blink. And so he will be delayed that much more. Yeah, he had enough gold for it, didn't he?
Yeah. So I was really curious. This is answering my question here. Lycan opting for the Vlad's pre-Radiance. Has the Radiance queued up now, but he was at 2,300 or so, and had to make the choice. Do you commit to the Relic or just buy the Vlad's? But deciding they're in a good enough tempo position that the Vlad's is going to be more use. Just pick that up now. Keep pushing the lead. Your Lycan is huge. You're huge. Baby Knight still doesn't do much other than snare people, but that's kind of Ember Spirit right now.
He'll get there. But again, even though individually he's not necessarily doing a lot of right-click, just his mobility and the magic burst that he provides. And then, again, the Howl buff, especially now being nighttime again. That's plus 50 damage, I want to say, at night here. So, yeah, can benefit from that. Limp top lane. He's trying to finish a Yule still. He's almost got it. Going to run almost right into the Ember. Ember instead will port to the bottom lane and join the rest of his team here. No more Aegis, but not afraid to push still. If you're Cloud9 in this case.
They're feeling pretty good. They got to be a little bit hesitant here, though, because like 3 of them get caught in a coil. Fight goes south really quick. Bonds into rock, especially on 3 cores. Could result in a 1 team fight, but Alliance just saying we're not in position for this. We're not ready to take this.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Are they going to go tier 3? The upheaval comes out. That will deter a little bit.
Alliance wanted to wait for Hanskin.
Wow, Baby Knight's like, let's take a fight. He just jumps right in. The Boulder Smash lands. And that's no chaotic offering for 30 seconds. That is
They
huge.
wanted to wait. Hanskin just picked up Blink. That's what they were waiting on. And EGM instead just dropping there.
He's dead for another 15 seconds or so. Limp going to try to deter. Look at this Abaddon just running them down. Kills the healing ward. Keeping Juggernaut at bay. The Omni Slash. That wasn't used. Okay, I thought I saw it used for a second right there. Dream Coil going out. Catches 3 in the back lines, though. Loda now spins on in the duel. Activated on a Silencer of all heroes, but that might be a win for Silencer. It is going to be a win for Silencer. And he stays alive throughout. Loda goes down. And Alliance is being cleaned up. No buybacks to be had. It's only this supporting cast. And this is easily going to be the racks cleaned up. Possibly more now.
Yeah, that was just desperation at its finest there. Jonas and Fan just really wanted to get 1 duel win, so he blinked on the squishiest target. W'd himself and dueled, and not even able to get that. Finger of Death not used. Chaotic Offering not even able to be used because he was dead. I'm not going to say Alliance is entirely out of this. There's still always the chance with the Rock and the Bonds, but
yeah,
it's looking bleak. They just took so many fights undermanned again and again and again.
And, you know, to be fair, the Cloud9 there, the last fight, I mean, Baby Knight just going YOLO, ended up working out beautifully, picking off the Warlock. And speaking of that again, Warlock's going to die before another Chaotic Offering. Unless he survives here barely. Okay, yeah, he will be able to limp back to the well. But nope, never mind. Baby Knight. Okay, he killed Hanskin right there, actually. Another duel onto the Ember Spear right there. There goes a Chaotic Offering. Here we go. A chance for Alliance now. Baby Knight, Sleight of Fish, trying to stay alive a little bit longer. They kill LC, and the lockdown onto Juggernaut with that Boulder Smash. The Magnetize, not up just yet. Maybe not even needed, though. Limp trying to live. He throws himself in the air with the Heal Scepter, the Phase Shift after. The Warlock Golem chasing down Silencer this whole time, but now they're going to kill that off. And everyone stays alive despite a decent combo from Alliance. Yeah, GG.
If Hanskin was alive, you're a finger away from a triple kill there. I mean, that really is it. Just they're fighting undermanned, and people keep getting picked. So they call the game. They say, yep, we're tapping out. Let's go game 3.
Cloud9 forcing a 3rd and final game and doing so. And again, the early game, this was looking decent for Alliance to see this up to about the 10, 12-minute mark or so. But and it just started to gain momentum for Cloud9, and these cores were not giving up. Earth Spirit, though, I think MVP, though. That game.
I mean, Earth Spirit MVP. The real question, though, is for your ban phase next game, is it the Earth Spirit or the Abaddon?
True. That's tough.
Because the Abaddon, he could be a huge factor in. We were talking about it last game. Perfect hero for Hesta Joe.
Yeah, much better draft, much more comfortable draft it felt like on the side of Cloud9, and it showed right there. So we got a Game 3. Again, this isn't an elimination match by any means, but definitely don't want to be dropped down to the losers right off the bat here in this four-team group stage here. What is the GSL format? So the winner plays Vega, the loser will play Na'Vi. Well, right now, we got to see what happens in game number 3. So again, guys, I'm Bricky CPK, joined by Z-Rock here, tuning into the Summit 7 European Qualifier. Stay tuned, guys. Third and final game coming up next.